Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hi, you guys.
Hope everybody is doing well.
Super well.
So, bombogenesis. Yeah, that was a term that maybe 5 years ago none of us really heard, or at least a very few of us.
I've never heard of it.
Well, it's happening often. And it's also known as a BombCyclone. And we got one in Brazil. Wow, this one was pretty intense. So this killed at least 10 people and destroyed everything in its path. 600,000 people in the dark. And you can see some of the stills here. There's some video here that you gotta just watch. Impressive power with these winds, just ripping whole roofs off intact and sending them flying, just wiping out buildings. It's just craziness. But we're seeing this on a regular basis. Does that not look ominous?
I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, so every place has its challenges, right? Being out here in the desert where, we get so little rain, so little storms, we do get scary winds. I mean, the winds get really intense to the point where you feel like it's going to blow the camper away. But living in the South, I went through a lot of really intense storms in South Carolina and in Florida too, some that would get to be quite scary. And then you get some pooling and flooding that goes on, like Miami has seen massive flooding. You should check out some of these videos, guys. It's just incredible what we've seen. Rapid intensification of these storms. And as you know, or maybe you don't, BombCyclone can apply to both summer rain and a winter storm as well. It's all about this criteria. And so this is a term used by meteorologists. It occurs when a mid-latitude cyclone rapidly intensifies, dropping at least 24 millibars over 24 hours. And that's a measure of atmospheric pressure. So, what we're seeing is just the most extreme of the extreme. And over here in New York City, there was a sudden storm that led to some freakish hail, as you could see there. But I mean, it's par for the course. We've seen hail, bigger than grapefruit on a regular basis now, and over in New York too. How about that?
Wow.
Is that not cool?
That is a pillar of awesomeness.
So, they say it's not a filter, not edited at all. It's a halo of light. And, you see the lightning strike in the background there. Pretty wild. It almost looks like Beam Me Up Scotty.
It sure does, doesn't it?
It does. Really wild stuff.
Wow.
That's another view.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that not incredible? I mean, I gotta tell you, we are in some wild times, and the amount of volcanoes going off just seems to keep going up. So we got 3 new ones for the last week, and still have ongoing activity at 19. So we got 22 going on right now. As you see here, increased earthquake activity. This is Makushin volcano in Alaska, and right here, the aviation color code is yellow. This actually had a VEI 5 eruption about 6100 BC, so quite a while ago. There's been no large eruptions that occurred in this century. There's been small to moderate ones that have been recorded since 1786. And over here in Ninhinoshima volcano, the summit's crater has been extending as explosive eruptions are continuing. And, just wondering when we're going to see some in the Pacific Northwest. Cascadia and, the San Andreas area, if you guys have been following Dutch, which I know most of you guys do, it's just been that slow slip thing going on. And at some point in time, all that's going to release. And how about that heat wave up in Siberia? Now you got wildfires increasing fivefold. And the Arctic Circle getting temperatures over 100 degrees.
Now that's concerning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And here you can see from above, Siberia looks like a smoky wasteland. And it's just changed. Now, the interesting thing, too, is that's exactly where the North Pole is heading, rapidly. But everything on the globe is changing rapidly as well. And so here you see a severe summer storm leaves more than 60,000 homes without power in Finland. And Scandinavia has been hit with some unusual weather, and we do have quite a few family members up in Scandinavia. As you see, after a month of heat in northern Scandinavia, it all ended with a storm. On Tuesday, Storm Paivo toppled trees and cut power to 85,000 homes. And that weather is going to be heading eastwards. And northwestern Saskatchewan hit by the worst flooding in 46 years. As we were saying, in some areas, water everywhere. In other areas, it's dry as bone. And this year's cold and wet spring sinks U.S. wheat acreage to its lowest levels since USDA records began in 1919. Corn and potatoes down as well. And, it's a disastrous 2019 growing season, 2020. I think you could kind of label the whole year kind of disastrous in a way.
Yeah, just a little label.
Yeah, it's most definitely been an interesting one. And I think this year has made preppers out of a lot of people that weren't preppers before. And talking about the fact that the changes are on a very big scale. We have a massive star that's just disappeared. So they don't know if it didn't go supernova but went straight to a black hole, or if it's just dimmed to a point where we can't see it anymore. And this is an object inside the Kinman dwarf galaxy. And it's just totally disappeared from view, no longer detectable. I had talked to David Dubine before when we were doing an interview, David from Adapt 2030, and we were talking about this like galactic superwave and how there's all these stars. There's this whole section that is just changing. The energy is changing things. A lot of the stars are turning into, red giants. And there's just massive changes going on. There's obviously a lot of man-made changes going on the planet. There's a lot of things that we see going on, such as the geoengineering. Of course, we have HARP, we have CERN, we have all sorts of things that can interfere with the patterns. But there's also these natural changes that are going on as well. So we kind of have all sorts of stuff going on at the same time.
I look at it as above, so below. Changes there, changes with us too.
Exactly. So 2 asteroids to race past Earth as NASA pens deal with Space Force to bolster planetary defenses. That's the part that I was really interested in, because you get these from RT, and then you find out, it sounds like, oh my God, we're going to get hit by an asteroid. Then you look and it's like more than a lunar distance, 2 lunar distances, even an AU, an astronomical unit, which is like from the Earth to the Sun, and it's really no big deal. But as we know, we've heard a lot about Space Force. We've heard a lot about different things in the plans, to get us paranoid about asteroids hitting us, and then everybody expecting a Project Bluebeam alien invasion. It's just, I think it's just planting seeds in so many ways.
I believe too. Yeah, same thing.
Not to say that there might not be things out there, but how would we know if it's naturally occurring or if it's something that was shot in? Or we really wouldn't know. And we have more mass die-offs as well. 350 elephants dropped dead, mysterious mass die-off, and this is in Botswana as well. Government has yet to test the carcasses for traces of poison or pathogen. Locals say 70% of the deaths are happening near water holes. So is it something to do with the water supply? It is terrible, and it's horrible to think about. People would actually even contemplate poisoning, beautiful creatures like elephants or any animals. How to make sawdust fire starters? Pretty simple. All you need is some ice cube trays, some wax, sawdust, and a pot for melting the wax. And you just basically melt the wax in the pot, fill the ice cube trays with sawdust, pour the melted wax into the trays with the sawdust, throw them in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and they're good to go. And they'll burn even if it's a little bit windy outside. So it could be an easy way to help you there. And then this one, I don't have the approval to go ahead and play, but wow, listen to this. This is from Guizhou, China. For the last 10 days is what it's saying. These mysterious sounds are coming from a mountain. And, I gotta say, the first thing I said to Cindy, I said, "Oh, Godzilla!"
Yes, please listen to that. We want to hear what you guys have to think.
Oh, it's crazy. The sounds are crazy. If they're not somebody that took that off of a movie set, then I would seriously be worried there. I mean, these sounds are absolutely bizarre. They sound like they're the sounds of some gigantic creature, or maybe it is the groaning of Earth's plates under the, or maybe it's an army of some inner Earth beings that are mounted on these gigantic monstrosities like dinosaurs coming up to the surface.
There's so many things it could be. It's fun. Please listen.
Yeah, this is a crazy one. So it's at Mavakaga, and I did give them a thumbs up. It's really interesting. So please check it out. I want to thank our new patrons, and we do have some new patrons. I want to also thank those that have supported us on Ko-Fi as well. And again, if anybody needs any sort of work, distance healing, distance energy work, spiritual coaching, Vedic charts as well, just reach out to us, evolutionaryenergyarts at either protonmail.com or gmail.com. As always, guys, stay prepared out there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.